Okay, so what we're going to do for this video is we're going to look at a pretty easy way to kind of open up and stretch through the chest and the shoulders. You want to make sure you're very gentle with this, especially if you have really sensitive or potentially injured or damaged rotator cuff muscles, or if you've had surgery, shoulder repair or replacement. Just making sure that you're not overstretching or overstraining things, especially if there's hardware in there. You don't want to loosen anything up, but you do want to try to maybe, and when the time is appropriate, work into expanding your range of motion to be able to comfortably or more comfortably gain those ranges without having the stress and the strain of having to raise your arm up against gravity, plus any tightness and resistance here that might be pulling against you, because that can create a lot of compensation patterns and scrunching and compression and pain that you do not want. So this is one way to kind of work through that. So I'm going to raise this table up a little bit farther. About counter height is usually good unless you're on the shorter side. A solid table, like a dining table, may be more appropriate if you're on the shorter end. So for me, this is pretty good. It's about counter height right up to my hip waistline, about 3 feet. So I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to first come out into like a T position, okay? I can also go into a Y position, but again, I'm not raising my arms up here. I could do these on the wall, and then there's also a W with the elbows bent. This is going to more challenge the rotator cuff versus just the pectorals and the other muscles around the chest and shoulders. So just be mindful of what you're doing, where you're feeling it, and make sure you maintain control, and that you also keep your shoulder blades, where these orange stripes are here, keep those back tucked and keep that neck nice and long, and don't collapse through your body, because that will put more stress in those shoulders. So I'll just kind of turn around and demonstrate on the wall so you can see what I'm talking about. You could kind of, anchor to the wall and kind of shift side to side. And so I'm kind of shifting my weight and turning, twisting through my upper body and anchoring the shoulder blade back and down. So I get a good pull and stretch there. And if I'm doing a Y, it's going to be more at an angle across the pec major here, versus across here is a certain portion along the collarbone area, basically, to open that up, versus this other one comes in here. And again, the W is going to be more into the shoulder and the rotator cuff muscles that also come under here with that subscapularis there, and also might get the lat depending if I'm progressing a little farther up. So it's going to look like this on the table, and I'm basically imagining I'm pitched forward, my hips are back, and I'm turning my head and my upper body, my chest. I imagine like a barrel kind of rolling back and forth, and it's got almost like this line of rope around it, like almost like a pulley. But I'm turning that cylinder and taking up that slack on one and giving slack to the other side, back and forth. Progress, even incrementally up as you're able to tolerate, and getting that shift in that stretch and making sure it's totally controlled. And then I can do like a W here. You can't see it, but it's like this. And then that's going to be a different kind of a feeling as well, okay? And this ties in with also, if you're back against the wall and kind of working there, you can work on that reaching behind as well as it's appropriate, and trying to open up things in that direction as well. Using a wall, that one you don't have to worry so much because your arms are down, not up, as far as like the effort of lifting, but it is a little challenging to keep them there. Another thing there is you can kind of step, you can kind of see, I'll maybe go this way, step out about 45 degrees and anchor back here. It's almost like you're in stride coming across, but that back arm is kind of almost like swimming, pulling back there and anchoring as you lift and stretch that way. So I can kind of work there or just back and forth and work on those elements as well. Okay, so that should help improve gradually and gently your shoulder mobility. Good.